What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review. Today, I got a VOD from the Tacticians Cup number 3. This is the final cup that qualifies for regionals, which is obviously going to be what's going to qualify people for worlds in the Americas region. So things are really, really heating up. And today, I got a VOD from somebody who I don't think I've ever VOD reviewed before. This is Relic. If you guys aren't familiar with Relic, he is a Latin American player, plays on the LAN server, and he is probably the best player on LAN. He's consistently ranked 1. He's consistently gone to worlds from the LAN region. And a really, really cool fun fact about him, he might be the only player to have ever competed in 2 separate Riot Games titles, including one being TFT. He went to Worlds for League of Legends, actually, on, I guess, an LAN team. And also, he went to Worlds for TFT. So he's been to Worlds in 2 different games, which is just absolutely crazy. And he had a pretty good day. He went 4th overall on the 2nd day on day 2. So I just wanted to VOD review him. I also saw he played a pretty interesting line this game, so wanted to watch this. So we start off here. We have kind of like a decent like Namzi like shapeshifters opener here. Nothing crazy though. Pick up Portable Forge here, and Relic in this spot here immediately sees Corrupt Vampiric Scepter and calls the Warwick. He has 1 Warwick at this point in the game, but he says, I have Corrupted Vampiric Scepter and I have Quicksilver, which is one of the best items to pair with it because it just means my Warwick is going to go bonk, 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 auto attack a lot. I can make 10 gold and boom, we can play this Warwick line, which is really, really fun line to play. You just get to roll for Warwick 3, have Warwick 3 be an absolute monster, and hopefully just win out the lobby if you can get there. So I wanted to watch this game because it's a fun line, and it's a line we actually saw a lot in this tournament. It's a surprising amount, honestly. I think, this is in some ways underplayed in like solo queue and ladder and stuff like that. I almost never see it in ladder, but in tournament I've actually seen it a few times. We've even seen people play it without this Corrupted Vampiric Scepter setup. Obviously, Corrupted Vampiric Scepter is really, really good on Warwick because Corrupted Vampiric Scepter disables your active ability, but Warwick does not have an active ability. He just has a passive, so this item is almost like tailor-made for Warwick, just because he doesn't care about his active because he doesn't have one. So you just throw this onto him and you make him an absolute monster. The other nice thing about this on Warwick is that I just saw my thing wasn't fully all the way on this side, is that he really likes the stats it gives. He just wants to auto attack bonk, 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 and Corrupted Vampiric Scepter is perfect for doing that. Now the interesting thing is it's gonna be interesting to see what Toronto Tokyo goes for last item here. I know Titan's Resolve has fantastic stats here. He does have the rod open, so he could look for something like Gwinsu's Rage Blade, but you're already getting a lot of attack speed from stuff like the Quicksilver. So I don't know if Gwinsu's is exactly what we want to go for here. Maybe we could just take the bow for either option. We could go Titans or we could go Gwinsu's, but we'll see what Relic wants to go for here. So he cannot get any of those components, so he's gonna end up getting a JG. Pretty interesting component here. Or not the JG, but the glove here. I wonder what this is for, because I mean, like, we're not gonna build a JG, but we do have a JG just sitting here. I don't know. I'm interested to see what Relic ends up wanting to play here. Looking around the lobby, something interesting that I noticed when because I believe. Yeah, I mean, this was in another lobby when someone was playing around Warwick Reroll, but people, when they see this spot, they will hold Warwicks. We are playing really, really high elo, really, really strong TFT. So there are going to be people out here who are going to be holding Warwicks in order to deny Relic. So, you can see already, this person that we fought obviously is playing Warwick on their board, but I think I already saw somebody when he scouted that was just holding a Warwick on their bench just to deny, which, I mean, very, very smart from them to try to deny here, and very, very smart from Relic here to just try to put out. He's trying to figure out what units he wants to actually hold on to here. I think the common setup is playing, around Vanguards with this Warwick. But we'll see. We'll see what he wants to end up playing as his final board, because Warwick doesn't really need his traits that much. It's not like Vanguard turns him into a monster or something. It'll just make him a bit more tanky. So it's not the most straightforward to play this. It's not like you play a fairy comp, you just stack up the fairies. Pick up another Galio here, and the other really important thing to note in this spot here is we are hard forcing Warwick reroll, but we have 1 Warwick. It is 2-7. We have not seen a single Warwick from this spot so far, aside from the first one we picked up. So it's getting a little dicey here. I'm curious to see if Relic wants to roll down here. I do see something like a Morello's here if he wants to go for it, but he does have this. It'll be interesting to see what he ends up actually spamming, because there's the Gwinsu Israel. It looks like, I mean, I think you certainly roll into like Warwick 2 But I don't know if you can actually roll any deeper than that. And there's at least another Warwick, so we can pick up these guys. And yeah, he's rolling so deep here. He rolls for the Warwick 2, finally picks it up. But this is a setup, and he is going to go for the Gwynsu's Rage Blade and then Redemption. These are pretty solid slams. Does allow him to slam 2 items, which is always, good when you can slam more items. And, the Gwynsu's also, you can see, I mean, he is a monster with this setup, just auto, doing insane work. Also going to sell a lot of the extra stuff there that he doesn't really care about. All right, second augment here. You want something that's just going to buff up your Warwick even more. Martyr is kind of interesting. Ooh, okay, so there's also another really interesting take here, which is potentially shields up. So shields up makes your Vanguard shield stronger. It also gives CC immunity, but we already have the QSS. So the upside is that this is going to make your board a lot tankier. I wonder if it was ever, yeah, wow, he does actually go for it though. I wonder if it's ever something like raining gold and you just use that gold to fuel a Warwick 3. But I think his idea is that I'm so far from Warwick 3 in this spot, and augment like Rain and Gold is going to be really, really bad. I just want a solid combat augment here. I'm going to take shields up here and just get a lot of value out of the shields up in this spot. And even though the CC immunity is not the biggest deal on someone like Warwick, hey, maybe there's a world where, the QSS is for early in the combat, and then once the QSS ends up falling off, like it ends up here, if Warwick drops below 50% HP, he's going to kind of get an extra QSS later. That kind of makes sense. I could see it with the idea being that, you're going to have kind of like double QSSs here. Hey, what's up, Relic? How's it going? Hi. What are we doing here? Okay, that was interesting. But I guess he's a good he's a good entertainer, it seems like. This is my first time ever watching Relic stream, but he's I don't know, it's interesting watching his face while he plays. He's pretty he's got such a like, I don't know, he's got such an aura to him as he plays with these like his kind of like his defined eyebrows and then his eyes. Like he's really locked in while he's playing, man. But okay, he's finally going to take a loss here. This board is fine, but obviously we are aeons off Warwick 3, so he's also flexing right here that he has already at this point in the tournament made it to day 2. He doesn't need any scores from this point. So I think part of picking this spot is maybe that he wants to play Warwick for fun, but it's also, just a cool augment to watch be played. So he's going to slower heal on level 5, looking for Warwicks. Still has not found any, which is a little scary. Yeah, it's a bit rough here. Okay, and he's going to bring that back. I was really afraid that he was going to leave that on there for much longer than that. But yeah, I mean, still no Warwicks here, sitting on just 3 Warwicks. But I mean, still just Warwick 2. Look at Warwick, this setup, man. Bonk, 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 bonk. He's just a monster. You don't need all of this crazy stuff to make Warwick, you don't 100% need Warwick 3. And he's picking up some other stuff. He's picking up, there's a Tom Kench that he can play onto this board for 5 Vanguard. Obviously, he can't really spike to 6 Vanguard until he decides to push level 6, which would mean that he would give up on playing around the Warwick 3, which is tough. But I wonder if you ever do that and just use Warwick as the tempo. We'll see what he wants to go for here. But still, the Warwick doing a lot of work against these tanky frontliners. And if it's a board without a lot of burst damage, like this board that we're fighting here, this board can never kill the Warwick because the Twitch just lacks the damage to get through the Warwick. The only boards that you're really afraid of are those boards that have a lot of burst damage or that can stack up a lot of damage. Something like Callista is really, really scary for Warwick. Finally, by the way, another Warwick here, 3-7. We have found our 4th Warwick. So we are we're on our way basically to the Warwick 3. Double glove here could be a thief's glove, certainly makes sense. All these swords are kind of scary. If you hit Twitch 3, like oftentimes people will itemize Twitch 3 with this comp. We don't have very many Twitches though, so I have to imagine that that Relic is not going to be looking to itemize this Twitch 3. It's a lot of Mordekaisers as well, and he's getting close to the Warwick 3. He's also sending it to 0. I don't know 100% if this is what he would do if he was not locked in already, but man, he's very close to a lot of things, right? He's 1 off Blitzcrank, he is 2 off this Galio, he's 2 off the Warwick. So I mean, it makes sense to send it relatively deep here. I don't know. I think he's having a little bit of fun with it, sending it this deep. Ooh, interesting augments here. So you have Avenge of the Fallen, which theoretically could be solid. The problem is you don't have that many units on your board. You only have 5, so once 3 allies die, your board is almost dead. 3's a crowd not today. I don't love. I guess the HP scales pretty decently, but yeah, I don't love it. Mentorship, I think, is a pretty solid pickup. We already have a lot of attack speed is the only problem. And Avenge of the Fallen will be great once we push level 7, push level 8. But right now, yeah, it's just too hard to take. So he's gonna roll to 10 every round. And then the second he sees a Warwick, it looks like he's gonna send it to 0, which makes sense. He's also holding onto the sword here, which I find interesting. But yeah, he's just gonna get the mentorship value on his whole board. Mentorship seems great here. Once again, the only downside is that we kind of have a lot of attack speed already. But hey, I mean, what do you need for this Warwick? You just need attack speed so we can auto attack more and just proc basically the Vampiric Scepter. Look at this Warwick, heal it up to full, man. He's a monster. He is an absolute monster. Also, we just faced a Poppy 3 there, it looked like, which is good for us because that's Poppy's out of the pool. He's actually considering taking that augment that gives him XP. The problem is that would necessarily level him up. And oh my god, we find extra Galio here. So yeah, he is going to make the call to sell here and just rolling it to 0 every round, digging for this Warwick 3. He's losing his mind. He's won off everything. I think this is partially a problem of our own making, Relic. But I mean, hey, it's a fun game to watch just because we can hopefully eventually see this. He's losing it, man. Hopefully we can see the Warwick pop off. Sword here. I'm curious to see what Relic wants to actually go for with these because, you know, you don't have anything really exceptional to build out of sword. I don't know. Maybe you go something like a Bloodthirster and end up putting it onto like Mordekaiser. He looks like he's going to take the belt because he wants some kind of tank item. I don't know. I was looking at potentially reforging one of these swords just earlier, but yeah, we'll see. Continuing to roll to 0. Still no Warwick 3. So we are just stuck here in Warwick jail waiting. And he's got the sword open here. Looks like, I mean, he could theoretically take like a Sterax or something, but you know, Sterax not amazing item. But hey, he's still 54 HP. That's the upside for Relic spot here. He had a really, really strong early game because this Warwick tends to just have a fantastically strong early game. Though he's starting to take some bad losses here versus this Ezreal comp taking a lot of damage. And that player also a lot of Gallios. Boom! Finally, at long last, there's Warwick 3. He's still committed to rolling actually, which is interesting because he's won off the Blitzcrank here. The Blitzcrank. That's also, oh my god, there's a Mordekaiser 3, which is scary for Relic because he needs to find that Mordekaiser. He sold his Mordekaiser 2 earlier. He needs to find a Mordekaiser so that he can actually put just a Mordekaiser 1 on his board and get 6 Vanguard in. So that's scary, but now we can finally see this Warwick 3 pop off. The rest of his board's pretty bad though, so he's still gonna lose this fight. Oh god. Oh goody. I mean, this spot is really, really scary. He naturally levels up to 6. Gonna play another Blitzcrank here. 25 HP. This is a scary spot. This is a scary spot for Relic, but we'll see once we get to the 6 Vanguard if that's enough to spike our board. But we do need to find that Mordekaiser. There's a Rod. There's some other stuff that I don't know. We're not that interested in here. There's the Blitzcrank 3, which is a good pickup. Temporary Emblem is nice because, yeah, now we can get Arcana in and get 6 Vanguard in here. And I have to imagine you want to make some tank items. Yeah, even... Ooh, the full Reforge. He ends up getting a static shiv here. I thought that was IE just because I saw the shine in it. But even Shroud, great slam here. This is the armor shred that he kind of needs on this board. He doesn't have any heal cut, right? Outside of the fact that we have a Rumble on our board, which is a little bit of heal cut. The Warwick also a genius here and goes backline, gets onto the Jinx. But can we get through this giant Rakan here? The Warwick just stacking up. How many Winsu stacks can we get to? 100 stacks, 110 stacks, 126 stacks, 137 Quinsu stacks. What a monster. We're going to actually level here. Wow, he finds Galio 3 on the level, which is crazy. But yeah, his idea is that, like, there's not actually that much stuff that we can find here. You know, the odds of finding something else like a... that Vanguard that we're looking for, the Mordekaiser, is not that high. So yeah, he's actually going to sell one of his Vanguards and play 3 Arcana here. I think this makes a lot of sense. He gets to actually get a bonus onto his board. He gets more AD onto the Warwick, which is fantastic. Gets some damage reduction to work as well. He does take a loss, dropping down to 7 HP, which is horrifying. He is going to take some armor for the round, which looks really good. And he kind of needs something better to play than this Twitch. Right now, we are currently playing a synergyless Twitch onto our board. Hopefully, you know, ideally he could find like an Ari or something. He's also going to use the remover to get the Shiv onto the Xerath, which looks pretty good. But 7 HP, pretty scary for Relic here. And he also sees somebody really, really scary. That 3-star Wukong looks pretty horrifying. Now, this board actually looks pretty fine for Relic. The Warwick can just tear through a pretty weak front line. And yeah, the Varus just does not have the burst damage to get it down. So he is going to go into the top 4 HP-wise. Maybe not everything else-wise. He can't actually go for last Galio item here because he's slammed. So he can look for like an Archangels, I guess, for Xerath. Yeah. But no, actually, he did have a remover here, but I think there wasn't a solid Galio item on Carousel here. So yeah, he has to go for Xerath item. The Emperor here, pretty solid just to get some damage amp for your team. And yeah, he just has to play the 5 Vanguard, which is tragic, but it is it is potentially enough to keep him alive here. He's also moving the Warwick down here because Warwick has so much attack speed. He's gonna be fine. Oof, this is the Ezreal board that we lost to last time. We didn't have everything 3-star at that point though, and we didn't have the Xerath, so maybe we'll see. Our entire front line is destroyed, but the Warwick, a genius, actually wraps with this positioning and ends up killing the Ezreal. There's a huge fight because this player is so low. He ends up killing that player, and look at this. I mean, we're not guaranteed top 4 yet, but it's very, very possible for us to top 4 in this spot here. He goes for the, ooh, no way we're doing this, right? I mean, I guess he says the HP doesn't matter. This is crazy because Warwick, I mean, the value of this true damage on Warwick is basically nothing, right? I think he'll get a little bit. He doesn't have, you know, an ability, but he does have damage that his ability applies, I think. He does end up losing this fight, though. He gets absolutely stomped, but the farmer down -10, and it is a clean top 4 for Relic. I mean, okay, I didn't know exactly how this game went, but I saw that Relic played a fun line. A little for fun here, but sometimes you need a little palate cleanser of Relic losing his mind this game. I think this is a fun game to watch. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch. I'll the links down below. Day 3 is tomorrow. Kai is co-streaming it. I'll be hanging out with him. I'm also playing in this cup called the Chronon Cup. So I'll be playing in that tomorrow starting at I think it's 10 a.m. Pacific time. So I'll be playing in that. Check out my Twitch. You can, okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.